Hey everybody, John Bogan here. I don't know if you can see this this thing behind me here. This is a pump jack on an oil well. I'm out in the middle of an oil field right now. And I wanted to make an analogy between this and any general business. Let me back away from this car real quick. You know, so these guys, what do they have to do? First of all, they have to know their target down hole, down below in the ground. So they got to identify their target, and then they've got to have the money, the capital to excuse me, got to have the money or the capital to get a drilling rig in here and drill that hole. All right, so they do that. Once they drill the hole and get down to the zone where the oil is, then they perforate and they start pulling oil out. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but once you get the oil to the surface, what do you do with it? Well, you've got to have a tank battery and have trucks come in, or what's even better is if you have a pipeline and you can run that oil in that pipeline, and then you can run it to the market. And the reason I'm telling you this is real similar to marketing online. Okay, so you've got to know where your target market is, right? So that's their zone for the oil drilling. Then you've got to have the capital to set up the business, and on a lot of these things, it's actually pretty cheap to do. I mean, I know there's a couple of them you can get started for $25. That's cheap. I mean, you know, it costs millions of dollars to drill an oil well. But anyway, online, so you've got this capital, you know, and let's look at it as this: there's your target market, and then you find your target market, and you perforate it or penetrate that market, that zone, and you start pulling out the product. Well, what is the product? Those products are leads. All right, and you can have leads, and you get those leads in the pipeline, just like oil in the pipeline. But then you've got to get them someplace else. You know, leads are great, but you've got to be able to have buyers. So what does that pipeline do? That pipeline runs that oil to market where buyers buy the oil and send it to refineries to refine into products. So online, same thing. You've got a pipeline of leads, and then what are you doing? You're sending offers to these leads, to these buyers. And so that's the kind of analogy I wanted to make. Maybe it's not as clear as what I thought it would be, but I was just looking at this thinking, you know, this would be a good video to make. Make the analogy between an oil well and marketing online, because you have the same thing. You have identify a market, you have to pull those leads out of that market, get those in the pipeline, and you've got to get those leads to a place where they can be, things can be bought or sold. So same thing online. Anyway, John Bogan out here in the oil field today. Y'all have a great day.